Welcome to the very first ever episode of the
Unattractive podcast.
Yeah, this is a great start of the podcast so far. The Unattractive Attractive podcast.
Yep.
I'm Jordy,
I'm Shano.
and we are just two friends that like to talk shit about random shit and nothing but shit.
That pretty much sums it up.
I'm originally from Victoria in the far east suburbs of Gippsland, and I'm 28 years old, and I just recently moved to Brisbane. I met Shane through TikTok.
Oh, you want me to get...
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do you go completely first and I go in. Or we can... Yeah,
We can chop and change.
We can
if
chop
you
and
want.
change. I'm a Queensland boy. Always been in Queensland. Grew up in Hervey Bay. The Bay. Home of the whale. The white whale? Home of the humpback. A whale. The home of a whale.
I feel like it's the humpback whale.
Is it the humpback or is it the... What's a blue whale?
I don't feel like blue whales are like that.
What's Migaloo? The white whale. What's it? What's he?
A dugong?
No, he's not a dugong.
I don't know what whale you're talking about, man.
Okay, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's humpback. Anyway, the Bay. It's a shithole. That's where I grew up. Moved to Brizzy when I was 19 or something. Never left the big fucking Bris Vegas. Love it.
Yeah. Oh, I come from a small country town called Maui. It is also a shithole. Good people, shit place.
Wait, before we continue on with our introduction, I know Hervey Bay looks good on the outside because everyone else says it's a shelter. Like, oh, it's beautiful. It's such a good spot. It's not. It's like one of the most crime rates at the moment, I think. You're either getting robbed or you're helping an old person cross the road.
I feel like Maui actually has a higher crime rate than Hervey Bay. Like, because people look at Hervey Bay and be like, oh, that's a dream place. I really want to live there one day. Maui's not. Like,
Yeah, no, but the difference is Maui looks like a shithole. See, Hervey Bay mastered. Hervey Bay looks good. Looks beautiful, nice little esplanade.
Nice sandy beaches.
Yeah, and then last week someone got stabbed to death and they're trying to find the killer.
Fuck. Rest in peace, that guy.
Yeah, rip.
But yeah, so I'm from a small country town called Maui, and it is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing really going on from it. It's sort of the low economical status at this point. It used to be a booming old town, and unfortunately it's just died over these past few years.
And I think Hervey Bay is the complete opposite. I think I was speaking to a builder the other day, it's growing at a rapid rate and it's like they're overpopulating the place, just like Sunshine Coast is now. That's exactly his words and he's a builder. So anyway, I'm not part of the economy.
I'm not an economics major or anything. But I can claim a shithole when I see a shithole.
In fact, I failed school.
So I'm in Bris Vegas now, living it up in Bris Vegas.
It took me a while to convince him, but he's here.
Can't get a single girl in Bris Vegas.
We'll talk about that later.
We will. But yeah, so I'm 28 years old and I finally made the big move to the big smoke, and here I am, broke. Nothing to my name except a car and this podcast that's now literally sent me into financial crisis.
Say 28 again.
28.
Yeah. You just said it a lot.
Have I?
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't even realise I
Yeah,
said
you're
it
right.
a lot.
No, you're good.
Oh, no, that's cool. So anyway, guys, I'm 28 years old and I'm from a small country town. And that's all my life has going for it.
Okay, let's talk about. Okay, who are you? What have you done in your life?
I was originally a commercial fisherman. Left school to become a commercial fisherman.
Youngest skippy in the world.
Not in the world, but sure, let's go with that. Huh? I was a commercial fisherman, and I then worked for an IT company, and then I found TikTok live streaming. Then became my full-time job, and that has been my full-time job for about 2 years now. I met Shane through TikTok Live. At that day, he was writing women's names on his abs for a Galaxy gift.
I don't discriminate. It was men's names as well.
That's correct, and I was paying for it. I was paying for all these women to get their names on his abs, and Shane actually thought at the time that I was gay.
Yeah, so our first interaction at the time, I still do, I have a lot of gay followers. I do live streaming as well. And when I first met Jordy, he came in with a tribe of females. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't know. I don't know. Were you guys talking before? Yeah.
So they were telling me about this really good looking guy from Brisbane, and that I need to come check him out because he's funny and I need to do battles with him.
Right. So yeah, Jordy comes in with a heap of different girls with him. They're obviously part of his culture, whatever he created, and he was sending me all these gifts, and I was like, okay, what do you want me to write you, Jordy? I thought Jordy was part of my gay following, but it turns out he was another live streamer, and that's how we met. And then I think the first thing I said to him face to face was, oh no, Jordy, every girl loves a dad bod.
Yeah, you did. As I was eating a Big Mac meal. It was a large Big Mac meal. I actually remember. And I then later found out he was completely taking the piss out of me.
And that's, yeah. And that's how we met, and we just clicked, and we've been going strong for nearly 2 years now.
I tolerate him.
Yeah, so we just got really good banter between each other, and our following have told us we should have started a podcast. This has been a year and a half in the making, by the way. And then randomly last week we decided to put it all together.
Yep.
And we've dropped 10 grand on it.
10 grand in 3 days to have this going. So please make sure that you subscribe. There will be plenty of banter, plenty of laughs, plenty of crying at our misery.
Yeah, so this is very much just a little intro, and we haven't got anything set up yet. We haven't got the logo, the intro, the outro, nothing. This is just to get it out there and get everything started.
It's basically like a test pilot. I need to make sure that it's going to successfully stream to all platforms. We will be going through Podbean, so it will be everything that's available through Podbean. You'll be able to download our podcast through that.
Yeah, so nothing too exciting. Just to the intro. Now, myself, I grew up in Harvey Bay, beautiful place, love it. Big shout out. I fought my whole life as a boxer. I raced and became pro motocross rider, and now I'm a professional bodybuilder. And here I am with Jordy, the fisherman.
Well, I was a commercial fisherman, went to an IT company, and then really did fuck all with my life.
Yeah, so much the same.
I went to the gym for 8 months.
Guys, Jordy, if I can describe Jordy's physique in one word,
Mud.
Yeah,
We're changing the vowel.
To be fair, if I'm gonna give a compliment to kick this podcast off. You're impressively average.
The Unattractive Attractive podcast. Welcome.
No, well, within the name, this is how we come up with the name. Well, no, how we come up with the name. Jordy randomly said it. I said that sounds cool, and that was it. But you guys get to decide who's the attractive and who's the unattractive. But we're going to talk about a heap of different shit.
Yeah.
We've got segments in line. We're gonna have guests on. We're gonna have all different shit.
And the problem is with Shane and I, we go off on tangents quite a lot. And
Easily.
So experience that in this podcast. Please never lock yourself into talking about one subject, because I promise you that'll never happen on this podcast. If you want subject experts in podcasts, this is us. This is us. You need to subscribe, because we are actually professional analyzers of all subjects in life.
I failed school.
I dropped out.
I'm a fucking dropout.
I've never been to university.
I have. I think I was robbing some kid at uni. No, but the thing is, like, when we first started setting this up, we both discussed we're going to stay as authentic as possible. Like, until we get the first sponsor and I sell out immediately.
We both sell out immediately.
But no, I'm not gonna stick to a subject, because that's not how my brain works. I bounce off different stuff. So it's gonna be, our podcast is very much gonna be going forward before you go back sideways, then back forward, and then we eventually get back onto the original topic. And maybe we'll finish it. I'm not sure if we will. But that's how it's gonna be. But we've got heaps of shit we're gonna talk about. So it might be good, it might be trash. I don't know.
We'll probably end up on Podfade.
Podfade's where you go when your podcast fails.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for the first listen of our podcast. I hope you enjoy. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Please leave comments in below what you would like us to talk about. We probably won't, but we'll try.
I mean, we can say we will.
Bye-bye.